Welcome to Passports to the Past, where we bring history to life and help you understand the world through its hidden stories and customs. Today, I'll take you on a journey to a country with mysteries stretching from the dawn of humanity to the modern day. But here's the challenge. I won't tell you the country's name until the very end. Instead, I'll reveal clues along the way. Listen carefully, and if you think you know which nation I'm describing, type your guess in the comments. Let's see how sharp your history knowledge really is. Our story begins not in castles or empires, but at the very roots of humanity itself. In this land, scientists unearthed the famous fossilized skeleton known as Lucy, a discovery more than 3 million years old. Lucy reshaped our understanding of human origins and made this country a centerpiece in the study of anthropology. Imagine standing on soil that quite literally gave rise to us all. This is a land where myth and history blur. Ancient tradition claims that the Queen of Sheba once ruled here. According to legend, she traveled north to meet King Solomon, and together they bore a son. That son, it is said, returned carrying one of the most sacred relics of all time, the Ark of the Covenant. Some believe it rests in this country even now, hidden away in a guarded chapel, unseen for centuries, yet fiercely protected by faith. But history here is not just legend. This nation developed one of the world's oldest alphabets, a script still in use today. To write here is to participate in a living tradition that stretches back over 2,000 years. And while many regions adopted foreign tongues, this land preserved its own language, one of the few in Africa with an ancient written heritage. Religion, too, marks this country as unique. Long before Christianity spread through Europe, it had already taken firm root here. In fact, it is among the oldest Christian nations on earth, with churches that trace their origins back to the 4th century. Even today, rituals, chants, and festivals continue almost exactly as they did more than 1,000 years ago. Have you guessed the country yet? Some of you may already be putting the pieces together. Ancient fossils, a queen who meets a biblical king, a sacred relic hidden in plain sight, and an alphabet carved out of stone long before modern Europe took shape. If you think you know it, claim your guess in the comments. And if you're still unsure, don't worry. More clues are coming. As we move forward in time, this mysterious land transforms into a powerful kingdom. High in its rugged mountains, rulers would carve entire churches out of living rock. Armies would rise to defend their homeland against powerful enemies. And, in one of history's most unexpected victories, this country would become a symbol of independence, defying the might of European colonizers. We've begun our mystery journey in a land tied to human origins and biblical legends. But what happened after those ancient beginnings? Let's step into the Middle Ages, when this country's identity was forged in stone and fire. In the 12th and 13th centuries, a dynasty of rulers commissioned one of the world's architectural marvels, churches carved straight into the earth. These sanctuaries weren't built with bricks or wood. Instead, entire monolithic structures were hewn out of single slabs of rock, connected by underground passages. Pilgrims still kneel on their cool stone floors, chanting in languages that echo back through more than 1,000 years. Imagine worshiping in a cathedral that was never built. It was revealed from the ground itself. But this was no isolated kingdom. Its rulers traced their bloodline to King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, presenting themselves not only as sovereigns, but as heirs of a sacred legacy. This Solomonic dynasty became both a spiritual and political anchor, legitimizing power while binding faith and state in ways that shaped the nation for centuries. Yet geography made this country a fortress as well as a crossroads. Its highlands provided natural defenses, while trade routes carried goods and ideas across deserts and seas. It was a kingdom both proudly independent and deeply connected to the wider world. Over the centuries, waves of invaders tried to seize this land. Some came from neighboring empires, others from across the seas. And yet, time after time, its warriors held firm. This resilience would reach its most dramatic moment in the late 19th century. By then, Europe's great powers had sliced nearly every inch of Africa into colonies. Britain, France, Germany, Belgium all carved their empires on the map. Only 2 nations on the continent remained free. One was a small kingdom on the Mediterranean coast. The other is the country we're describing right now. In 1896, European soldiers marched toward its highlands, expecting an easy victory. Instead, they met an army that had mobilized from across the nation, farmers, nobles, and warriors alike. At the Battle of Adwa, The invaders were crushed. The victory stunned the world. For the first time in modern history, an African army had defeated a European power in open battle. This triumph was more than a military success. It became a symbol of pride across Africa and the diaspora, proof that colonial conquest was not inevitable. Leaders of independence movements in the 20th century would look back at Adwa as inspiration, pointing to this nation as a beacon of resilience and self-determination. Have you guessed the country yet? By now, some of you must have an idea. The clues are piling up. Stone-carved churches, a Solomonic dynasty, a calendar and script all their own, and a victory that defied the age of empire. If you're confident in your answer, type it boldly in the comments. But stay tuned, because more hints are coming, and the reveal is still ahead. As the 20th century unfolded, this country faced new challenges. It would briefly fall under occupation during a world war, but never lose its soul. Its capital would become a center of diplomacy, home to one of the most important international organizations in Africa. And today, its rhythms of life are marked not just by history, but by traditions that reach into every home. From the way meals are shared to the way coffee is poured. We'll explore those customs and finally uncover the name of this remarkable nation in our next and final segment. Stay with us, because the mystery is almost solved. So far, we've uncovered a land tied to humanity's earliest ancestors, a kingdom that carved cathedrals from solid rock, and a people who defied the greatest empires of their age. But our journey isn't finished yet. Let's step into the modern day, where the traditions of this country still shape the daily lives of its people, and offer some of the most unique travel experiences in the world. One of the first things visitors notice is the calendar. Step off the plane here, and you'll suddenly find yourself 7 to 8 years behind the rest of the world. That's because this nation follows its own ancient timekeeping system, which means New Year's Day arrives in September, and it isn't unusual to celebrate the start of a completely different year than your friends back home. Time itself feels different here. Days are divided into 12 hours of daylight and 12 of darkness, starting at sunrise. So if you arrange to meet someone at 3 o'clock, you'd better clarify. Are you speaking about local time or the Western clock? Misunderstandings are common, but they're part of the charm of traveling in a place where the rhythm of life follows its own beat. And then there's the ritual that has spread from this country to the entire globe: coffee. According to legend, a goat herder noticed his animals leaping with energy after eating red berries from a particular shrub. That discovery blossomed into one of the world's most beloved drinks. To this day, coffee is not just a beverage here, it's an experience. A traditional coffee ceremony can last for hours, with beans roasted, ground, and brewed in front of the guests. 3 rounds are served, each representing a blessing. Sharing in this ceremony isn't just about taste, it's about community, hospitality, and respect. Meals themselves are communal as well. Families and friends gather around a large platter lined with injera, a soft, spongy flatbread. Rich stews called wats are placed on top, and everyone eats together, using the bread to scoop. It's common to offer a bite directly to another person's mouth, in a gesture known as gursha, a sign of love and friendship. Dining here is never solitary, it's about connection. Respect plays a role in other customs too. Elders are greeted with deference, and when handing something important to another person, it's polite to use both hands. Visitors who follow these traditions find doors opened and friendships quickly formed. But this country is not only about rituals, it's about landscapes that leave travelers speechless. Towering highlands give way to dramatic valleys, volcanic lakes shimmer in the sunlight, and salt flats stretch into surreal patterns. Ancient obelisks rise from the ground, silent witnesses to empires long vanished. In one corner of the country, you can even stand in one of the hottest inhabited places on Earth, where lava lakes glow against the night sky. Have you guessed the country yet? You've heard the clues: the land of Lucy, the Queen of Sheba, and the Ark of the Covenant. A kingdom that carved rock churches, resisted colonizers at the Battle of Adwa, and still counts its years on a different calendar. The birthplace of coffee, where meals are shared, time runs differently, and hospitality is considered sacred. It is time to reveal our mystery. The country we've been traveling through is Ethiopia. Ethiopia is more than a destination. It's a story. A nation where history is alive in every tradition, every church carved into stone, every shared sip of coffee. It is a land that has shaped human history from our very beginnings, and one that continues to inspire travelers who seek both beauty and meaning. Did you guess correctly? If so, give yourself credit. You've just solved one of history's greatest riddles. If not, don't worry. You've still gained a window into a culture worth exploring. And now we'd love to hear from you. Which country should we explore next? Leave your suggestions in the comments. You've been watching Passports to the Past. Adventure awaits, but only if you make it home.